You are listening to Spot On, a health and wellness podcast that breaks through the latest media headlines to provide you with accurate and usable information that is, well, spot on to meet your needs. I am your host, Dr. Joan Salge Blake, a nutrition professor at Boston University and the author of the college textbook called Nutrition and You, which is used in colleges across the United States and abroad.
Hello, Spot On listeners. Here we go. Another episode on quarantine, how to tackle boredom when you're home. So today I brought on a guest that has written about this topic to share her thoughts. Abby Gross, she's from a Boston University college student. She's class of 2022. She's majoring in neuroscience and minor in visual arts, and you're going to see how the two of those come together. But why is she on Spot On? Because she wrote a fabulous article in her campus. Her campus is a national publication, and she wrote this article that we are going to post on the Spot On Facebook page. The title of the article was 5 Ways to Stay Busy on Your Own when you're hunkering down here. So she's calling in from Portland, Oregon. I love Oregon, by the way. And she is going to be sharing her words of wisdom. And, you know, what a timely article. So, Abby Gross, welcome to Spot On.
Thank you. I'm happy to be here.
I'm happy that you came. And, you know, I just realized I'm doing math. Oregon. Wow, you're up early. Thank you so much. Now I really got to thank you because it's very early in the morning when we're taping this.
Oh, it's all good. I have class soon.
Oh, okay. There you go. Very good college student up. Okay. What I just want to know is what prompted you to write this article? It's so timely.
Yeah. So I think the main prompt for me was, it was kind of a way for me to think about things to do with my free time because I was just sitting there like, oh, I'm not really sure what to do with myself. So it allowed me to brainstorm. And then on the other hand, I thought my ideas were kind of decent. And I knew a lot of people that were saying they were bored. So I thought it could be helpful to kind of more people than myself too.
That's right. I mean, you listen to what your friends are saying. You're listening to, you know, what's going on Instagram and Facebook. And, you know, you are spot on, if I might want to plug that, on this article and things to do. So I want to go over some of the tips that you mentioned in the article. So you said basically one of the first things you want to do is to read. And
Yeah,
what did you mean? What did you mean by that?
I guess I feel like at school, I spend a lot of time reading stuff for class that I don't have time to read books just for fun on my own time.
You know, that's totally interesting because that's so true. And you, when you got schoolwork and deadlines, you're reading things, you know, in your case, neuroscience, I bet you that's a easy read. And rather than things that are, you know, maybe more pleasurable. And I think right now we need some pleasurable reading. So you mentioned that there were some free online resources because, you know, getting books, maybe you could order books from Amazon, but they're not coming fast. So what were some of the free online resources where people can go to get free books online?
Yeah, there's all sorts of online stuff.
I think you had said Overdrive or Open Library.
There's Overdrive, yeah, and Open Library, and you can just log on and make an account. Yeah, it's basically like a library. You can just check out digital versions if you have an iPad or a Kindle or anything like that, and you can even do it on your phone. I know my mom's a big fan of that one.
Right.
So.
Okay. And you had said something about Trident. I guess they recommend books. Explain this to me.
Yeah, so Trident is a bookstore cafe in Boston that my friends and I go to a lot. And they always have great recommendations in store. And obviously, since we won't be going out to like bookstores or anything, they put some recommendations online as well. So that's been a great way to find books to read.
Okay, that is great. I'm going to check that out, and we're going to put that and these online library sources on our Spot On Facebook page for everyone to link to. Another thing you said, which we just did a Spot On episode on, was working out. But what I love what you said about you said one of your favorite at-home workouts involves a deck of cards. Can you explain that?
Yeah, so my mom actually came up with this while me and my sister were in high school, and we were just in the house with nothing to do. And basically you have a deck of cards and you have 4 different workouts for each suit, like hearts or sit-ups, diamonds or push-ups or something like that. And so you go through the deck and you draw a card, and whatever number on the card you get and the suit is how many workouts you do of that type. So it's a good way to like use what you have at home to just get creative, I guess.
That is absolutely fabulous. So it's like poker, but you're working out. I love this. That is really good. That is really, really fabulous. I'm going to make sure I get a deck of cards. In fact, I'm going to get 2 decks so I can really work out. Are you having trouble sleeping, focusing, or relaxing? If the answer is yes, then the TM Softs White Noise Sleep Sounds podcast has got you covered. This hour-long podcast is made to help you get rid of distractions, reduce stress, relax, and most importantly, get better sleep. You can listen to sounds of nature, white noise, relaxing music, and much, much more. You can check out the TM Softs White Noise Sleep Sounds podcast on Spotify or wherever you listen to your favorite podcast. You say make art. That's another thing. So tell me about that. What do you mean by make art?
Yeah, so I guess what I mean by make art is just kind of, honestly, anything. I just have a notebook at my desk a lot, and I'll just doodle. Well, not necessarily while I'm in class, but whenever I have some free time. So yeah.
So what's been inspiring your artworks lately? Like, are you like doing it on a theme or?
I guess I've been inspired by a few things. One thing is I have things to turn in for class, so that's a big inspiration. One of my teachers also posted a list of prompts. We have this thing each week called Make a Drawing, and we have 3 that we have to do, and they're pretty open-ended, like draw your favorite day of the week or your favorite room in your house. And it's just stuff you can do from home without a lot of resources. And then I guess another inspiration has just been being in a new environment, because Oregon's pretty different from Boston.
Right.
So that's been something too.
Right. So I'm assuming when your professor told you, gave you some prompts for drawing, I'm assuming it's your visual art professor and not your neuroscience professor that's giving you these prompts?
Yeah.
I'm thinking, because that would be a very, very clever neuroscience professor. So that's super. Speaking of drawing, I was looking over the weekend and about these adult coloring books. Have you ever seen these?
Yeah, my sister is a huge fan of those. They're really fun, actually.
Okay, can you tell our spot-on listeners what they actually are?
Yeah, so it's pretty much just a black and white coloring book, and they have like all sorts of different styles of them. There's themes and whatever, but they're pretty intricate, and you can just take different colors and color them in. They're a little more intense than children's coloring books, I guess, because there's more designs, but yeah, they're pretty fun. It's really a good way to de-stress, I feel like.
Right. And that's what it is. I guess, the research is suggesting that, doing this actually reduces your stress. So I got online and I'm ordering one from Amazon. And what a great idea. And, it brings you back to the days when you colored. When you colored, you got the Crayola crayon box. It's really, really fun. You also say in the article about cooking, and we just launched a great segment with Toby Amador about cooking. But so what is your favorite meal that you're making at home?
Honestly, I am not the best cook, so I have not been getting too fancy with it. I've been mixing up the way I make my eggs in the morning. It's nothing fancy, but it's just trying something new, I guess.
Right, that's great. What's your favorite? What are you mixing it with?
I like making an egg and toast and then putting avocado on it.
Fab.
Classic,
okay.
Yeah.
Great. Or a guacamole if you don't have fresh avocados, right?
Yeah.
And the last thing you said in the article was stay educated. And I know you're staying educated because obviously you're a college student in classes, but what do you mean by that, stay educated?
I feel like right now is an easy time to hear a lot of news that might not necessarily be true. And so it's important to pay attention to what's actually true and what's maybe not, and not feed into mass hysteria and freaking out about things. But yeah, staying educated and staying calm about what's going on.
Thank you for saying that, because it pains me to think of all the scammers out there and the nonsense that's being promoted on Twitter and social media about the virus and ways to combat it. And you got to follow the science. And I know, and you had mentioned in the article, that one of the best resources for you to get accurate, timely information is at the CDC website, and that's cdc.gov. And again, we'll put that up on it. But that's so, so important. So I have to ask you this. What is going to be the first thing you do when you get back to normal life?
Oh, man. I've been thinking about this a lot. I think I just want to hang out with my friends in like a big group and not like 6 feet apart outside. I've seen my friends like we'll go on walks around the track and we keep our distance, but it's not the same.
Right. No,
maybe a movie. I don't know.
Yeah, that's right. Some togetherness. Well, I'm glad that you are role modeling and doing that, because when you're outside walking, you need to be role modeling for everybody, you know, wearing a scarf or a mask and keeping social distance, because if people see it, they will mimic it. So it's good that you're doing that. And I'm just going to end, because at the end of your article, you had this quote. I absolutely love it. I want to know where this quote came from. But you said at the end of this article that you wrote and we're going to post, it said, everyone has empathy and consideration for others. It will be much easier to combat this difficult time. Where did that come from?
Yeah, I don't know. I just felt like on social media, I was seeing a lot of people posting about, oh, like this sucks. I'm missing out on this, or I'm missing out on that. And I was like, yeah, that might be true, but it's also important to think about there are people that are facing worse situations than you. So if you kind of keep that in mind, it might make it easier to go through whatever you're going through too.
Well, that is brilliant, and I love it, and I'm going to remember that today, and we're clearly putting up that quote on our social media platform. So, Abby Gross, I want to thank you so much for coming on Spot On and sharing what you're doing to help you stay busy while you're hunkering down.
Yeah, thank you for having me. This is fun.
Spot On is supported by the Boston University Sargent College's Master of Science degree in Nutrition program. Log on to bu.edu to learn more about this fabulous nutrition graduate program. Thank you for listening to Spot On. If you enjoyed this episode, don't forget to subscribe on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or wherever you get your podcasts. This way you'll get every new episode every week. And by the way, leave us a nice review. And can you also like us on our Spot On Facebook page and suggest topics for future episodes? Please follow me on Twitter and Instagram at Joan Salge Blake. And oh, by the way, can you send this episode to 5 of your friends? Do I ask a lot of you?